I started this whole reading for you, Virgo, and went to change some of the camera stuff while I was recording, and it just stopped recording, and I should have known better. So here we are. Like, I did an entire reading. I was almost done with it. And it was pretty good, too. Let's see if I can remember. Talked a lot about winning, like Virgo is winning in April. So let's keep that tone while we try and do this other reading. Let's talk about some of the cosmic stuff that's going on first. So we have the Libra full moon that's happening. It's going to either be late tomorrow, like late on the 5th of April, or really early in the morning on the 6th of April, depending on where your time zone is. And this will be happening in your second house, Virgo. And this is actually going to be linked. This is the last full moon before eclipse season starts, but it's also linked to the Libra new moon eclipse, the solar eclipse that'll be happening in October. So whatever comes up with this Libra full moon, and this could be in career, because we're talking about your second house, this could be like anything that comes down to your worthiness, like how you feel about yourself, and link that up with your career, link it up with the money that you're making, link it up with the house that you're living in. If your life, if your outside life isn't a reflection of how you feel about yourself, like it could very well be a reflection of how you feel about yourself and you don't feel very good about yourself. Or your life could be a reflection of how you feel about yourself and things could just be, like just need to be shifted a little bit. So really pay attention to what this Libra full moon, like self-care time in a really, really big way. Lots of self-care for this Libra full moon. And as you're giving yourself the self-care, and I don't just mean like soaking in a bath and taking yourself out to dinner and buying yourself flowers. I mean speaking to yourself better. I mean, actually making a move in your life that makes you feel good, that's for the benefit of you and not just for the benefit of everybody else. Like, let's be real, Virgo. We will benefit someone else before we'll benefit ourselves, and then we'll play the martyr for doing that. So we want to pay attention to ourselves. We want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves so we don't have to play that martyr role. It's not comfortable. Playing the martyr is not comfortable. So I said that this Libra full moon is a lead up to eclipse season, which begins on April 19th with the Aries total solar eclipse happening at 29 degrees. This will be in your 8th house of change, transformation, other people's resources. Eclipse season. So this total solar eclipse is special for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's going to be an eclipse. But it's at the 29th degree of Aries, so the anaretic degree, and it's the second Aries new moon we've had this month. So if you think about 2 weeks ago, when we were still in March, we had an Aries new moon, and it was at the 0 degree. 0 degrees, it was like 0 degrees in 37 seconds or something like that. So it was leaning to that first degree, but very much about new beginnings. And now this solar eclipse that that's happening in Aries at 29 degrees. Eclipse season is about endings. But the reason why we have endings is so that we can make room for new beginnings, so that we can make room for new stuff to come into our lives. So if you would like to get a reading for yourself to see how eclipse season is going to affect you, I do have that available. It's only a $75 reading. We'll talk about what's going on for the eclipses in April. We'll talk about the eclipses or the eclipse in April and May. We'll talk about the eclipse in October. And we will also talk about Mercury retrograde that will be happening starting the 21st of April and will last until the 14th of May. Pre-shadow begins on April 7th. So really paying attention to what this Mercury retrograde is going to be telling you. Start listening on April 7th. This Mercury retrograde will be in Taurus in your ninth house. The ninth house is about our expansion, our belief systems, and the things like this is the house where you may have started to believe in one thing when you were younger, and then you changed belief systems as you got older. It's through the ninth house, right? So for you guys, with Mercury being retrograde, this is also about higher education. So for those of you that are in college, or those of you, you might be learning something new during this time, make sure that you are reading all of the details or paying attention to all of the details, the little fine lines, dotting your I's, crossing your T's if you have any projects, if you have any tests that you have to take or anything like that. The post shadow will last until May 31st, but yeah, that ninth house, third house axis is about learning. It's about learning new things and being your own teacher and like welcoming other teachers to come in too. So you may find that there are some hiccups in that area of your life. You may find that you're learning something new as well. The power of surrender. We're going to see what it is that Virgo is surrendering for April. The last time I did your reading, you were surrendering the drama. So, which makes a lot of sense because Virgos have been through some drama lately. Like, oh, wow. This one keeps on coming up. Surrender to your soul's path. I think Leo also got this, and I want to say, and I'm shuffling them, and I'm cleansing the cards. Surrender to your soul's path. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson in every moment. I'm not kidding you. I think like 4 signs got this. And it's not for me because I am surrendered to my soul's path. This is what it is. This is what my soul's path is. This is what I'm surrendering to. So, could be me though, since this is the Virgo reading. Who knows? Surrender to your soul's path. So, really embracing every lesson, every moment. Your journey has been perfectly designed for your own soul's growth. Okay, well, we've got the 8 of Swords. So we know that this is the Virgo reading because we've got the 8 of Swords. And that's the self-imposed imprisonment of the mind where we like to overthink. Nice. So we have the 9 of Wands. We have the High Priestess, and we have the 8 of Swords. And then we have the Page of Cups, and we have the 5 of Wands. Okay. What's really interesting here, Virgo, is this feels like it's time to surrender to your intuition, which would be your soul's path. The 9 of Wands is literally the surrender card. And so instead of overthinking, like there's this overthinking quality that's happening here with that 8 of Swords. So instead of overthinking constantly, surrendering yourself to whatever's going on in your life, whatever's happening in your life, surrendering to that intuitiveness also. And then down here, we have the Page of Cups and the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands, it can be an external argument with someone, but in this case, I feel like it's an internal argument. I feel like you are arguing with yourself about what you want, about what you truly desire, or you know what it is that you truly desire, and there's like this struggle to get it, or there's a struggle to get there is what it's feeling like. And not allowing yourself to surrender, like this is going to be suffering at its finest. That 5 of Wands is a lot about suffering in some pretty big ways. So let's clarify. Very curious about this Nine of Wands here. Nine of Wands, the surrendering, because it's like you don't want to go through the fight anymore, right? Like this guy. Here, let's get. I knew there was a card that was going to come out for that High Priestess. Like this guy here, he's been through the battle, right? He's all bandaged up. He's been through the battle. He doesn't want to go through it anymore. And to clarify that, we have the Knight of Wands and we have Justice. And I literally am hearing justice will prevail. Even when there's doubt, there's always going to be that balance there. There's always that justice there. A lot, Virgo, a lot these days. I have been reminding myself that there's not a lot of things that I can control. Oftentimes I feel like I'm in this Knight of Wands situation, and the Knight of Wands is very much like back and forth, like don't really know. There's not a lot of balance when it comes to that Knight of Wands. And Justice is also the Libra card. So this very much could be representing that Libra full moon energy for you and just really being unsure about where to place your energy. And when in doubt, like at the end of all of it, when in doubt, there's that surrender. Surrender is always going to be your best friend. There's a lot of, I was talking with a friend yesterday, and there's a lot that comes with being a human, and humility is a lot of that. Humility is a lot, has a lot to do with being a human in a big way. The Sun on the High Priestess. I love that the Sun came out on the High Priestess because literally the High Priestess, you could be dealing with a Libra or a Pisces energy, but I feel like this is your intuition. This is your balance. You could even be a Leo energy with the Sun here, but your intuition is trying to tell you what the answers are. Like the Sun is clarity, healing, being open to all possibilities, right? And you can't do that if you're sitting in this Eight of Swords state of mind. If you're sitting in that Eight of Swords, that's, again, self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. And I literally want to say it's the man. It's the man that's put that self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. King of Swords. The King of Swords always feels so restricting. Again, you could be dealing with the Libra energy. But the King of Swords on the Eight of Swords, someone might be trying to push their opinion onto you or push their way of doing something onto you. And that's why I feel like it's so very important for you to listen to your intuition this month, Virgo, because because I think that can throw you off in a really big way. If somebody else is trying to, they're saying, well, this is what we think is going to be best for you. You know what's going to be best for you. You know what's going to be best for you at the end of all of this. Even if you don't know what's going to be the best for you, you have an idea. You have a better idea than some other people do. The Six of Pentacles on the Page of Cups. Okay. The Six of Pentacles is often asking us the question, where are we placing our energy? Are we giving it to people, placing things that are no longer, that aren't giving back to us? I feel like with this Page of Cups desire here, I feel like you're giving a lot of energy away to like the pining. I want, I need, I desire, I really, really, and that's familiar. A lot of times when we want, like if we want a particular person in our life, if we want a particular situation, if we want to be out of a particular situation, a lot of times it can feel very whiny. Like, why do I have to go through this? Surrender. It always comes back to yourself. It always comes back to you at the end of all of this. It always comes back to you. And that may be where this arguing, this Five of Wands suffering, this Five of Wands argument or arguing could be coming from. When you, oh wow, okay. Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck. See, I feel like April is, you're going to be coming out winning. That's what the Six of Wands is. The Six of Wands is about recognition. It's about knowing how, you know, like other people recognizing you. It's about rising above the situation. On the Five of Wands, very interesting. On the Five of Wands, we got the King of Wands, we got the Hanged Man, and we got the Seven of Wands. So in the arguing, I feel like there is this necessity for you to put up some boundaries. And it's either because of a Pisces person or it's because of a fire sign person. Boundaries. Could be that Leo energy that we were talking about. But that Seven of Wands, it's not, you know, somebody was asking me yesterday, like, how do you know that you're protecting yourself enough? Like, you know, when you are somebody like me who works, and everybody can work with energies in the way that I can work with energies, I've just fine-tuned it. I've just like studied and practiced and done all the things, and I've really gotten to know my energy in some pretty amazing ways. So, you know, like I've learned, I taught myself how to be in my own energy, right? Taught myself how to use my own energy. So somebody was asking me yesterday, how do you know when you are protected enough? And I had a teacher years ago, and I took like this 6-month spiritual empowerment course from her. And she taught a lot of different ways of like physically clearing your energy and physically protecting your energy. And through the years, what I've actually really learned is because when you're physically protecting your energy, you're training your mind to know that your energy is protected. Like you're telling your mind, like, I'm protecting my energy right now, so I know that I'm protected, so nobody can come. And you feel this confidence, right? And then I started to realize that you are as protected as you are confident. The more your solar plexus in between your rib cage right here, the more open it is, the more honest you are with yourself, the more you stop apologizing for things that you don't need to be apologizing for, the more you allow yourself to be open to your own personal power and to who you are, the more protected you are. And like, because you don't want to be actively thinking about protecting yourself all the time, because then you're literally telling the universe, I need protection. I'm not a protected person. I'm weak. And I have all of these, you know, like energetic boundaries. Like I have problems with all my energetic boundaries. Like you're literally telling the universe that. And you're like open for attacks, whether it's a physical attack, whether it's a personal attack, whether it's an energetic attack, a spiritual attack, whatever, you're open to it, right? So when you get into this kind of position, I think it's really funny how I've got these cards that are like laid out so perfectly in this Virgo reading. It's hilarious. Like they're all lined up. They're all spread out and lined up evenly. But that's what made me think of this whole Five of Wands, King of Wands, Hanged Man, Seven of Wands situation down here, because I feel like the Hanged Man is telling you to look at this situation in a different kind of way. No one has the permission to be in your space or to talk about your space or to talk about you or whatever. Like, nobody has permission to do that unless you give them permission, unless you give them energetic permission or spiritual permission to do that. And so that's why I feel like this Hanged Man is telling you to look at things in a different perspective. It's not about having boundaries so much to where you are like consistently protected all the time, because you don't want to feel like you're in a jail. You don't want to feel like you have to be in a jail. Being open and being, honest and just like living your life is protection enough. You just have to be very, you have to make sure that you're watching how other people are moving too, because not everybody is going to be on your side. And then do what you have to do, accordingly. Like, if it comes to you, then do what you have to do. But in the meantime, when because you may feel like you're being psychically attacked all the time, and a lot of that is your own doing. You're attacking your own psychological. You're beating your own self up. You're allowing what other people have said to you. You're allowing that to be your truth. And it's not your truth. And I'm here to tell you that it's not your truth, right? That Eight of Swords, that overthinking, has a lot to do with the way other people have taught you how to overthink about your entire existence, right? So this reading, like, literally, we're going to call it Virgo is winning, because that we're going to put that out into the universe. Because I feel like that's what's happening. But Virgo, you can sabotage it. You can sabotage that winning state of mind all you want to, if you really, really want to. But the Six of Wands and the Eight of Wands, like, I feel like the information that you've been waiting for, even the Three of Wands here. We have the Six of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. That information that you've been waiting for is going to show up in April. And you will be winning with that information. So, all right, you guys, I love you so much. I do have that Eclipse reading available on my website in the description box. You're also going to be helping us. We have some things in the fire for when it comes to home stuff. So I'm not giving everybody the details yet, but we are still in need for that. So if you get a reading with me, you'll still be helping us, and we appreciate all of the support. And I love you guys. Have a really wonderful April, and I'll see you for May. Bye.